Today we have a 2882 Mallet Santa Fe number 2199. It's got a Katy or Microtrains coupler on the back, and it's got good railings. All the side rods are there, and on top of that, it's a pretty rare unit. It's a smoker, plus it's got a custom LED headlight. Normally these smoking units that they put in these are made by, they're distributed by Charmers. It actually was, I think it was an MRC Roa, built by Roa in Germany, because that's what the instructions say. Roa, and then, German, but it's also in English on the bottom half. And the back side of these directions is about the smoking unit. Roa N-scale model. So, tells you a little bit about the Sooth smoke generator, steam generator, I guess they call it. And it's got its original case. It's got a few minor cracks in it, still solid, still does its job. All the pieces of the case, the original pieces, are there with the special clear holder for the top. That indicates that it's a smoker. You don't see those too often. Usually they're colored. They're usually like an off yellow. So anyway, this particular unit, I saw two things. The windows are missing, and so is the bell. Other than that, it's in great shape, runs excellent. This is what I use in it. Mega Steam Smoke Fluid, and it's specially designed for the Sooth smoke units. And really, you need this bottle. This is an add-on bottle. I refill this bottle, but anyway, I refill it from a bigger bottle. This bottle's got a needle-like applicator, which is real critical because you have to, and hopefully I can do this without screwing things up here. You have to get in between. There's an upright in there, and you have to squeeze in enough without overfilling it. The key is there not to put too much in, and also, I don't know if you could see it in this video, it's a little hard to see. There's a steam pipe in the middle of this. Maybe you could see it there. And there's a reservoir, and the reservoir might hold 1/4 of an ounce of steam fluid. But you have to be able to get it in there without getting it directly in that steam pipe. The steam pipe is where the element is that heats up. And at the bottom of the steam pipe, which is about as thick as, the steam pipe's about as thick as the needle is on this applicator, on the bottom of that is a couple of little holes. So it's imperative that you get it above those holes, but you don't overfill it and go above the stack. And the best way to do that is with either a hypodermic needle or a dispensing bottle like this. And I recommend these JT's Mega Steam Smoke Fluid. I put that in the eBay posting. It's available on eBay. It's like $5-6 a bottle plus whatever it costs to ship. And it works really good, puts out a good ball of steam. Pretty cool stuff. I've got a couple of these smoker engines, and I'm getting too old to mess around with N-scale anymore. I can't see good enough. So like everything else, I'm slowly getting it posted. Kind of my retirement project is to move all these trains out. So anyway, without further ado, I'll start it up, and you'll notice that it won't start smoking until the generator gets hot, and then you usually get a little like poop, a little pop where it starts out. And it smokes the best when you got it on high, because it depends on the voltage. And this is unusual because these didn't come with a headlight. The fellow that owned this before I bought it from him put a LED, a micro LED in the front on a resistor, so it's a directional headlight. These units originally came with the smoking unit, and they use the wires that normally supply the electricity to the headlight to run the smoker unit. This has both. I guess when they originally came out, they only had incandescent lamps in the 70s, and there wasn't enough electricity to power both the smoker unit and the incandescent lamp. Well, now the advent of micro LEDs, these use such a tiny bit of voltage that it can operate. So it runs well, as you can see. It smokes well, like it's supposed to. It won't come with any fluid unless there's some residual fluid in the tank. In any event, you'll have to buy your own smoke fluid and, like I say in the listing, a needle applicator. So it's got all the side rods on it. See it operational here. There's the LED headlight, quite bright. All the side rods on this side. Let me run it through the switch. Show you that it goes through the switch. No problems with the switches. Number one rule with these things is don't let them run out of fluid, because that gets that thing works on heat, overheat. And number two, didn't like to switch that way. Number two, don't overfill it. So it's time for another fill here. I probably didn't fill it up all the way, but kind of a unique piece from the 1970s. These were made in the early 70s, and they were imported by that Charmers. You can read about that. If you look this loco up on spookshow.net, quite an interesting write-up about the guy that started to import these for Charmers. I forget his name, but anyway, you can read about it yourself on spookshow.net. I'm going to show you this thing running in reverse now. The headlight isn't going to work. You'll see the smoke goes off as soon as the electric goes off. But the smoke is both directions. The headlight's directional, the smoke is non-directional.